take even the most shocking stories and turn them into an immersive and intimate experience.
From the New York Times, I'm Michael Barbaro. This is The Daily.
Let's take a look at the New York Times podcast, The Daily, see how they've created one of the most compelling audio narratives of our time, and discover 7 things that we can learn from the show. The New York Times The Daily is a precedent-setting broadcast news show in podcast form, hosted by Michael Barbaro and Sabrina Tavernise. The show releases a brief episode every morning where the hosts are joined by New York Times top journalists who relay the inside scoop on recent events. There are a couple ways that the production team helps to set the scene for the audience. The Daily uses pre-recorded on-location soundbites to help set the scene of the current news story for the listener. This allows them to feel like they are alongside the journalist during the reporting of the story and makes it easier for them to visualize what's going on. The show retrieves old soundbites from previous news stories to give more context to the current news story at hand. This could be old interviews, on-location recordings, and old reports. The show uses instrumental music throughout the episode that perfectly complements the content of the show. It changes throughout the episode based on the topic at hand, generating specific emotional responses from the listener. By using a variety of audio content, it completely immerses the listener into the story. And you can do this as well. With Riverside's mobile app, it's quick and easy to capture on-location soundbites and recordings. And if you're looking for some instrumental music to use throughout your episode, some great websites with royalty-free music are Artlist.io, Mixkit, and Adobe Stock Audio. There are different ways that this audio content is layered throughout the episode. Sometimes it's just the host and the music, sometimes it's just soundbites and music, sometimes it's host and soundbites, and sometimes it's the host with music and soundbites. All of these elements are produced in a way that moves the story along and makes the episode sound smooth. For example, the soundbites start under the host's voice and slowly fade up to become the focus as the host leads into it.
And that went on for several months, starting in November of last year.
Number 10 staff joking about a Christmas party, sparking an internal, then police investigation into 12 gatherings in total.
12 parties, 20 fines.
Boris Johnson was fined for criminal violation of lockdown rules by the police.
By layering this audio content in different ways, it provides a variety of listening experiences for the audience. The news is already being covered by various reporters for a variety of different types of media, meaning that the podcast team doesn't have to come up with new ideas and research from scratch. By taking this already existing form of content and turning it into a short, digestible audio narrative, The Daily is able to reach a younger audience that traditionally doesn't read the newspaper. In fact, according to Press Gazette, the podcast's audience of 4 million daily listeners in 2020 was almost twice as large as the paper was at its peak. By keeping up with the trends in media consumption and adapting your content, you have the chance to reach more consumers on various media platforms. So say you have a blog or a book, you could repurpose that into a podcast episode or a YouTube channel, and vice versa. There are a few ways that The Daily has created content specifically for their target audience. Each episode is around 20 to 27 minutes long, give or take, which is the perfect amount of time to complement a morning coffee or a commute to work. They jam-pack the episode full of relevant information in just a short period of time to make it easier for the listener to fit it into their daily routine. New episodes are always posted before 6 a.m. This allows listeners to wake up to a new episode the same way they would wake up to new news articles and newspapers. The show uploads new episodes daily, which allows them to cover many topics and stay on top of the most buzzing news stories. It gives the listener content to come back to every single day, making it easy for them to become reoccurring listeners. If you have a show with guests, it's important to know your place as the host. You are there to get and keep the guest talking, move the conversation in the right direction, and ask the questions that the audience would be wondering. Michael Barbaro has mastered this. His job is to make the guest and the story shine, so he always knows when to chime in and when to take a step back. You want your cover art to have colors that accurately represent your brand. If you look at the dailies, you'll realize that the colors are representative of a sunrise, the time when many people consume their daily news and when the show releases new episodes. Do some research on color association when creating your cover art and design it in a way that makes your image stand out and represents your brand. The Daily is the perfect name for a show that releases episodes daily because it immediately gives the listener an idea of what it's about, and it's short and easy to remember. We highly recommend listening to The Daily for a great example of how to create a compelling audio narrative. Let us know in the comments if you learn anything else from the show. If you liked this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell icon to make sure that you never miss another video.